Hi students, I'm going to do maybe 2 or 3 videos here now on kind of finishing off your drawings here and things to look out for. So I'm going to cover dimensions, the value of a door schedule, and curtain wall notes in this particular video here. Okay, so I'm starting to populate. This is my ground floor plan. Okay, and you can see that I've got some of my LinkedIn Revit site model in here, and I have half-toned it so that it kind of sits in the background. Now, you don't necessarily need to show that. I like to show it because it gives a bit of context to the ground floor plan. Okay, so in terms of dimensions, this is what I'm doing here. All right, so I'm doing strings, long strings of dimensions. So I'm getting as many points fixed as possible in one long string of dimensions. Okay, and that's the way I want you to do it. There will be occasion where you have to maybe a 2 line dimension or something like that. Never do a single dimension because it's useless, to be honest with you. It'll tell you the width of the window, the width of the door, but it doesn't tell you how to place the door. So that's the important thing that you need to remember here. That's why we do these strings of dimensions. So if you notice, I've got this dimension style here and this one here. All right, I want to show you the little difference between the two. So if I pick that one, come over to my dimension style plan here, and I'll open this up for you. The important thing perhaps to remember here is the text size. Okay, you have an opportunity to make it bold or not. I am making these bold because this plan is at 1:125, and I just want those dimensions to stand out a little bit. The text background I'm making transparent so I can see what's in behind the line of figures, if you like. I don't want important items blocked out. The units format is important here as well. Okay, so it's saying use project units. Now this is problematic. So I'm going to uncheck that one. I'm going to say I'm going to do a custom rounding to 5 millimeters. All right. So you'll notice that all of my dimensions are 4865 or 4860 or 4855. They'll round it off to 5. I don't want a symbol, okay, because it just takes up too much room and it's not really necessary here. So I'll go okay with that one there. Apply. Okay. Now, so that has brought me in as far as here. All right. What I'd like to do now is I'm going to open up that dimension style. So this is a copy of the original one that I did. And let's have a look here. So you can see I've got the bold checked. I've actually changed the text size to 1.75. And you'll notice that in the units format, I've got none and a custom rounding of 5 there as well. All right. So, and that's how those ones work out. So I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to right click. I'm going to say, select all instances visible in the view. I'm going to swap you over to Aerial 2. And that does the job for me there. All right. Okay, so you can see strings of dimensions. So the builder needs to know where he's going to build the ope for this particular door. So I'm coming off the grid line there and off the end, the outside face of that particular wall here. And I'm going from the grid line there to that point there. So there's a single dimension, but the important bit about this is that the grid line is fixed. So I can come off that at 3.2 and he knows what the width of that particular wall is going to be there. So strings of dimensions the whole way across. Let's do one through here just to show you. So I'm going to pick up, notice here I'm going from wall faces. Okay, so if you hit the drop down box here, pick wall faces, that's always a good one. Individual reference here. So I'm going to go off the grid line to there, to there. So you can see it's picking up the wall faces here for me, which is brilliant. Okay, and then I'll come all the way down to the grid line there. Now, where to position these? So I'm going to position these so that they are related back to the items that I am dimensioning, but also they're not covering over other important information here. And if you remember, I'm going to change that to dimension style Arial 2. So that's why the text is a little bit smaller there. Now you'll get a situation occurring over here, say, where a lot of dimensions may be sitting on top of each other. But what you can do is if you click on the dimension, look for that particular handle there, and you can drag your text up like so. If you do that, so if you get dimensions that are kind of sitting on top of each other, you can actually use that little tool that'll shift that above that, so that text isn't running directly into another piece of text or something like that there. Okay, so rounding at 5, I've used bold as I showed you there, and strings of dimensions. That's the way to go about setting out. So the question I always used to ask myself in terms of dimensions is, if I was the builder, what information, what dimensions do I need to know? So you put yourselves in the shoes of the builder, and if you come up to this one here, well, what's missing here? Actually, the width, perhaps, of the cores is missing here. All right, so there you go. You've asked yourself that question, and you've answered it. So we'll do we'll go up to that face there. Yep, there, right? And I'll just I'll position that there. Now, so all that info is there for you. He's got the width of the wall. He's got the internal width of the wall, and the internal width there. So all that is now available to the builder. So that's a really good way of dimensioning, is put yourself in the shoes of the builder and ask yourself, what dimensions do you actually need in order to build this? Okay. Now, I'm going to mention door schedules to you here. And door schedules are pretty handy when we start to get into complex buildings with lots of different doors here. I'm going to give you this example over here. So I've given this a type mark, right? This is the lift door of a DTO5, and there is a DTO1, door type 01. But look at this one here, it's got a number 39. So it doesn't have a type mark associated with this. Now, if I had 50 different door types, I might go in and put a type mark of DT06 or 07, and it'll pop up and say this is already used. So one way to get around that, and if you had lots of doors that have this type mark here, but you want to have these in order, okay, and with symbols that give you more information on the actual door itself. The simplest way to do that is to actually go and create a door schedule. All right, so I'm going over to my schedules and quantities. I'm going to right click, I'm going to go to new, and we're going to come down to doors here. Okay, now, so what do I need to know? Not a whole lot, to be honest with you, in regards to this one here. Never mind all those Kobe stuff. I was just practicing with Kobe's and classifications and things like that there. So yeah, we'll definitely do a count. We will do a description. We'll do a family and type. You could do a fire rating as well if you, yeah, let's stick that in there. Yes, level definitely. Mark, no, what I'm really looking for here is the type mark, this one here. This is the important one, all right? So I'm going to move that one up to the top and go okay. Now, so it's going to generate a door schedule for me here. Now, this is the interesting bit here, is the type mark. So you can see that I've got type marks for various different doors here, but here's a load of doors that I don't have any type marks for. Okay, now I might filter these. I might go back into here, I might filter or sorting and grouping, to be honest with you. I'm going to sort these by type mark, ascending. Okay, now, okay, I'll go back in there and I'll do it descending. Descending. All right, so I've got DT06, there's all my 05s, 04s now. All right, so here we go. My next number up is 07. So all I'm going to do is going to do a DT underscore 07. All right, I'm going to get the underscore in there. And this change will apply to all elements. I'm going to go, that's fine with me. Okay, that's good. Did I get the underscore in there? Did. All right, that's good. Now, so we go again. DT underscore 08 out, and we go, yeah, I want to reply to all of that. We'll now do this one here. It's going to be DT 09. And yes, all aboard there. And you can see now I'm coming down here, DT underscore 1010. Okay, and yes. Now you can see I'm getting through all of the doors here. And the nice thing about this is that this schedule is connected back into the plans. So look, here's all of my doors now have a type mark associated with them. If I go back to my ground floor plan and over to this door here, you'll see now that it's updated to DT09. So that's the usefulness of the door schedule. That schedule is directly connected back into the plan here. So the changes that you make in the type mark here, so that you're altering the text here, will then be reflected back in on your ground floor plan and your first floor plan and your second floor, wherever that door occurs, and you put in the type mark multi-category tag associated with that, it'll update pretty quickly. All right, and that stops you from duplicating type marks as well. All right, so that's really anything about type walls. Now, so the last thing I want to do in this particular video is the curtain walls. So if we go back to my plans here, so this is how my ground floor and my first floor are working out. So I decided to move all my furniture up into the first floor. So it's acting as a furniture plan as such, as much as anything else. And you can see that I've got my wall elements legend up here. And in one of my previous videos, I explained to you that this wall element legend won't accept curtain walls. All right, so it's a bit of a pain. There are ways to do it, but they're complex, and they're just too complex, to be honest with you. So what I'm going to do here, you can see that I've got all of my other walls tagged. Wall type 02, and I've got a different type in here. There's an 09, whatever, but I don't have my curtain walls tagged as such. Or maybe I do. I've got them tagged, but that tag is not connected to a description up here. That's the point I'm making. The tag is not connected to a description up here. So this is what I'm going to do in that case. I'm going to say take that, and rather than type mark only, I'm going to put in the construction description. All right. Now, that's the beauty of multi-category tags. This is why I spent a lot of time showing you the multi-category tags here. So let's do that again. I'm in annotate multi-category tag. And let's go in here. And again, it's wall type 06. I'll just put that there. All right. And exterior facade PC panels and glazed units. Notice now a couple of things here with the tags, and this can be a little bit of a pain, but I do recommend that you do it. Pick that, and you can see we've got a free end. Okay, that's fine, but we don't have a leader arrow. So with the drop-down box, and I use a fill 20. Apply and OK. And with the free end, it means that I can push that down and actually attach it to where that should be. Let's get over here. Here's a wall type 07. And if I go into my legend, you'll find that it's not there because it's a curtain wall. So I'm going to swap that out from the multi-category type mark only to being a construction type mark. And I'll just shift that out there. Okay, so in the case of our curtain walls, rather than just put in the type mark only, I'm going to put in the construction description. Because, as I said, it won't fit in the legend. Anywhere else now, you can see that I'm using my type mark. So if I pick that one, so here is my type mark only. Pick that wall type. Here is my type mark only, and so on like that. All right. Okay, so we're building up this idea of connected information here, and if I hit the drop-down box here, so I got my construction description type mark, my elevation description. I'm going to show you that now in a minute. you've got my AC type mark, and I've got my uniclass. Well, we're not doing uniclass at the moment, but it's a handy one to have there, right? So let's just bring up an elevation here. So I'll bring up the east elevation. No, wrong one. Okay, I'll bring up the north elevation maybe, just to show you this. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go into my multi-category tag, and it's going to be the elevation description. And let's get going on this one. So there, these out, and there's probably not going to be a lot more concrete situ cast. Okay, and there is, there to the front here. All right, and that's that one there. So multi-category, that's 07, 07. There is an 08 there as well somewhere. There it is. Okay. And so that is what that multi-category tag is for, is to pick up the external material finishes. And if I go into my sheet that has the elevations, I think there's the long section in elevations is what I've got here. Let's pop in there. I'm going to do a longer video on this one now as well, showing you how that's done. So here's those things that I populated. Now I might need to shift them over here a little bit, and I can do that. But you can see now I'm starting to populate my short building section here with the construction description multi-category tags in across there. And if you follow that routine that I showed you, in terms of filling out that information in the edit type properties of the description, of the comment and the type comments and things like that, then your multi-category tags will work a dream for you. And this is where they come in so handy in terms of your project there. And even if I go down to my details here, okay, so I'm going to activate that detail. You can see, sorry, I should show you, go in here first. These are my wall sections. So I've pulled out 4 wall sections here, but for this project, on these wall sections, I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4 details. Okay. And again, the idea of the wall sections, if you go back to the ground floor plan, one there, as I explained to you, one through here. There's a plan call out there. There's another wall section there. You place those wall sections where you think there's going to be necessity to explain and to detail up kind of junctions and crossover of materials and all that kind of stuff. So I've gathered them all here. And I'm taking my callouts for my 1s to 20s. I can't emphasize that enough to you, like so. And then I've created my detail sheet, and I've organized the detail sheet so that this the top is sitting in the middle, and then lower down is below that, and then the basement is over here, and then that's the plan detail there. But here's the beauty of your multi-category tags here as well. So have we activated that? We'll activate that view, multi-category, and we'll do a construction description here. Again, okay. Now you can see how quickly I'm getting through that. Now, wherever you get that question mark, all right, it just means that you've not filled in the information, but I've filled it in here. Now, see the way that's disappeared? And again, if I pull, say, this one here, and I move it over there a little bit, right? Try and line these up so that they're all in the same line together. The reason that note has disappeared is this. It's activated, so I'm going to turn on the crop box, and I'm going to select the crop box. And if I go over to the properties here, you see I've got my annotation crop checked. Now pull this line out here. Annotation crop checked means you see that ant line. It just means that everything that is inside that annotation crop will be seen. If it's outside of it, it'll disappear. All right, so you might need to do a little bit of adjustment on that there. And then once you've set that up, you can unhide, you can hide off the crop box there. And again, you can start to populate these now with your notes. And this is perfectly ready now for for detailing, 2D detailing. So, you know, I'll have a counter flashing in here if that'll be a rendered on the outside of that insulation. But I'd like to put in some counter flashing maybe across there. You'll show your membranes with thick line work coming up through here and wrapped around your counter flashing. You'll have your TPC in under here. You can do your fixings through there. So if that's a precast, in situ cast capping that I've used, you might use a metal capping or something like that. But you can do all your detailing work in there as well. And as I said, you've got most of your notes already prepared, but you can add more notes in if necessary by using the text at that point as well, or you can improve the note in the type properties of the element itself as well. You won't pick up all of them, but you'll pick up most of them, most of the notes doing it that way. And again, as I said, look, it is tagged, it's got a type mark tag, and it's got a construction note. So everything is connected back right the way through the whole set of drawings. Okay, hope that's of use to you.